guys, welcome to IMO on ProgizmoHD. What we're going to do for the show today is we're going to do a little bit more relaxed approach. We're going to go over some news articles that we saw in the news, things that interested us and things that we thought would interest you guys. First off that we found was we were going over 13 tablets have been released this week alone. To give a synopsis, we've got Lenovo, Sharp, Pandigital, Samsung, Vinci, HTC, Acer, Dell, another Lenovo tablet, an Asus PC, and a designer PC, or a designer tablet by Pierre Cardin. Do you see that one?
No, I didn't see it.
It's all black leather. It's got a stainless steel bezel. It looks fancy, but it's got last year's hardware.
Too much competition out there.
It's ridiculous. I mean, do we really need 13 tablets being released in a week?
I think a lot of these companies, they just want, that a little bit of the market.
It's just so many of these are identical. We were looking at the only one that really stands out among these is the ones that are ridiculous. Like the Pierre Cardin tablet sticks out because it's a designer tablet. This thing is hundreds of dollars. It's got last year's specs. It's got an ARM Cortex A8 processor, 256 meg RAM. It resembles the ViewPad 7 from earlier this year, and it's $500. It's just not going to be worth it. There's also the Vinci tablet for babies, which has got the huge rubber bumper around it.
Yeah, so they made this tablet that's basically supposed to be used, to give to your kids so that they're not playing with your expensive iPad 2, right? Well, what's the price on that thing?
This was $479.
So I mean, it's just totally useless at the end of the day, right?
It's a little bit silly.
If they made it for like $200, then
absolutely,
it'd be great.
Something like when you look at the LeapPad PCs that you give to your child, and they're these bubbly green and white PCs, and they're expensive because they're LeapPad, but I mean they're not like giving your child a MacBook, right? So for $500 for this Vinci tablet for babies, it's not gonna fly.
Total shit.
So currently, right now in the States, because we are in Canada, the WebOS touchpad tablet that we actually took a look at a few weeks ago has gone down $50 this month. They're giving a $50 instant rebate if you buy the touchpad this month, and actually just this weekend you're getting a $100 drop on it. Now that's great because the WebOS touchpad is expensive and it's got this software on it that people aren't used to it yet. There's not enough apps, so I don't know if people were really going to buy it for $500.
Yep, the $50 rebate is obviously coming into a perfect time right now where they're releasing all these other tablets from these different manufacturers. So, they definitely want people to grab their HPs.
They want people to know that they're still here, right? So in light of 13 other tablets being released this week, HP is just, they want to say, we're still here, we're trying to sell these tablets and we want to push WebOS, so $100 drop, it'll help. We'll put a link down below to the HP touchpad sale that's on this weekend. Moving away from tablet news and a little bit more into PC and laptop news. Many of you probably may know the MacBooks, MacBook Pros, the newer versions have this new Thunderbolt port. This is a 10 gigabyte per second transfer port. It's similar in speed to the new USB 3.0 ports. Now what this one company, Village Instruments, has done is they put up a poll on Facebook asking MacBook and Apple users what the next product they would like to see developed for the Mac would be. And what won was an external graphics card running through the Thunderbolt port. Now I'm not sure how I feel about this because this is probably going to be very expensive. Would you buy an external graphics card for your MacBook?
Probably not. It depends on the price, and they're not even mentioning the price right now, so I would probably say no. If it's going to cost you 25 or 30% of the cost of your MacBook, let's say, I would definitely not want to dump my money unless I absolutely had to.
Now that must put a push on Apple to say that people are complaining enough about the graphics processor in your MacBook, and they want to do maybe 3D gaming, more intensive editing, and maybe it's not enough, so they want to put this powerful external graphics card through the Thunderbolt. I don't know what that says about the power behind a MacBook graphics processor, but people are obviously requesting it because that won the poll.
Who the fuck wants it? It's so big anyways. Apple's known for like their, sleek design, and here's this beast of a box.
Brick you put on top of your...
It does. It looks like an external 3.5-inch enclosure.
It's massive. It's the size of a full-size graphic card that I would put in my case. It's this big.
Nah, it's total shit.
It's not gonna fly. Moving away from hardware news, we're gonna go into a little software story here. Germany is challenging Facebook on the facial recognition software that they use in Facebook to auto-tag your pictures. If you don't even tag your pictures, Facebook is able to recognize faces of your friends and auto-tag them. Now this feature, it can be turned off, but you have to dig through your privacy settings and turn off auto-tagging to not allow people to tag you. Now in Germany, Hamburg's Data Protection Authority, the DPA, is saying that this is too invasive. It's not right. You can't just automatically tag people in photos without really telling them that it's going to happen. Yes, you have it in your privacy settings, but you have to dig through these settings, and many people probably don't even know that it's there.
I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, if you have your pictures on Facebook anyways, then you know what? if they want to add that feature automatically, it's up to them. If you don't like having, you know, an auto detect face recognition program, then you shouldn't be on Facebook. Or just change the setting, right?
That's very true. Now the only problem I see with that is, say you have photos up that were taken of you that you didn't put these photos up, right? Someone took a photo of you in a maybe less than desirable location or setting, and they put it up and just auto tags you in all the pictures.
Well, I don't know. That's probably one of the small disadvantages of Facebook then. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then don't be on Facebook.
If you don't want your face on Facebook, then don't be on Facebook. Alright, so we're going to take a little break from the ultra nerdy, and we're going to move into some car news. Now, this is electric car news, something that both of us are very interested in. We were looking at an article today about the Tesla Model S. Now, this car is incredible. I absolutely love this car. It actually has a Maserati-esque look to it. This car comes in 3 battery configurations. You can get the 160, 230, or 300 mile per charge battery set. So you can go 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. It seats 7. It's got a top speed of 120 miles per hour, and this thing looks amazing on the track. The video they were showing today, 3 of these blacked out Model S's all out on the race strip. It looked fantastic. I can't wait for this car. How do you feel about these electric, this new style electric car?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's something that is awesome that they're actually making exotic / sports cars into electric cars. The technology's here. They're fast. They're quiet. They have the quality and the textures, the feel, everything that, you know, a gasoline powered sports car has.
A little bit more expensive. The Model S is going to retail for somewhere around $50,000 US. Now, it's not cheap, but it's a very smooth looking car.
Not to mention too, obviously, all the benefits of electric being that, you know, the maintenance is a lot less. You're not having to pay for gas for every fill up. Grant you, yes, you still have to plug it in, but the costs are relatively cheap in comparison to fossil fuels.
Absolutely. There's no comparison between going to the pump every week and just giving a little quick charge in your garage every day at home. Then the Model S also charges off a standard outlet. You don't have to have a huge 300 amp breaker in your house installed. It's just a normal outlet. If you want a quick charge, then you can plug it into a 240, like a dryer outlet. Another company that's working on electric car is Nissan. Now, there's the Nissan Leaf, which has been out for a while now, but they're introducing a new technology, and they're calling it the Leaf to Home. Now, what you're able to do with this is using an extra charging station that they would install into your house. You're able to actually wire this into your fuse box, into your home. Now, say you have your car plugged in, it's fully charged, your power goes out. Suddenly, your Nissan Leaf can take over the power draw of your home. I find that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that this feature is just that. I think in my opinion, it's a gimmick. I don't really see the advantage. I mean, how many times is your power going to go out of your house where you need to tap into your electric car for a couple hours of running some light bulbs?
And who knows how long it takes to get that car up to the point where you're going to be able to run your home for a day, half a day. Hopefully, if the power only goes out for a few hours, yes, you're going to be able to run off this, but they haven't listed how much the extra setup costs to get your house to the point where you can run it off your car. Now, what's also interesting is another feature with this charging station is you can actually plug your car in during the night when your power is cheap, fully charge your car, and then if you're home during the day, you can feed that power back to the grid at a higher return. So you will actually be making money off your car.
Yeah, see, again, I look at it as just another gimmick, unless you're working, shift work. But for the average person that works 9 to 5, what are you going to do? You're going to come home now and charge it, and then once you reach the point of when hydro is expensive, sell it back to them. At the end of the day, you're always going to want to have that car trickled and fully charged so that it's ready for the next day.
It seems like that feature would require a lot of planning on your part to say, okay, I'm going to charge for a little bit here, I'm going to send back a couple kilowatts here, I'm going to make a few cents here, a few cents here. It seems like it would just, unless it's completely automated, computerized, you can set, I want to be charged by this point during the day, let the computer decide, send power to the grid, take power, send power, depending on the cost of power at that point during the day. Another thing to mention about that is these batteries, while the technology is getting there, these are high quality deep cycle batteries. Batteries inherently have a certain amount of cycles they can go through, and you are actually, if you drain your battery sending power back to the grid when you're going to make money, and then you charge it again in the cheap zone, you're actually, that's taking a cycle off your battery. So if these batteries are good for, say, 50, 100,000 cycles, you're taking cycles off the life of your battery, so you are actually decreasing the life of not necessarily your car, but that's a big portion of these electric cars is the battery.
Well, they say 2/3 of the cost of the car is basically in the battery, and like you were saying, it's basically wear and tear for a few extra dollars at the end of the month.
Exactly. You have to work out the fact that you might be making a few cents here and a few cents there, but you're chipping away at your battery. Alright, so that's enough about cars. We're going to bring it back to the geeky, and we're going to talk about the Sony Vita, which is the new PlayStation Portable-esque device. It's the new upgraded PlayStation Portable, you could call it. And we're sad to say that it will miss Christmas of 2011. The device is going to retail for $249. Now, this is actually a very, very powerful device. It's got a 4-core ARM Cortex A9 processor. It's got a 4-core graphics processor made by Imagination Technologies. This chip is called the SGX 543 MP4 Plus GPU. Now, this is an amazing GPU. It can be clocked anywhere from 800 megahertz per core all the way up to 2 gigahertz per core. Now, obviously, that's going to drain your battery life much faster, but it's an amazingly powerful device. It's got 512 meg RAM, a 5-inch 960 by 544 OLED multi-touch capacitive touchscreen. Now, this is basically a tablet on a small scale. You've got a very powerful processor, a very powerful graphics processor, equal RAM, but way more gaming capability with dual joysticks and the full array of buttons available on a PlayStation 3 controller. Now, what's amazing is that this processor will actually be coming close to matching the graphics reproduction of the PS3 with the 4.4 gigapixel fill rate. Now, I'm very impressed by the power of this, and I'm actually very impressed by the price. $249 I think is extremely reasonable for a device of this power.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, Sony hasn't really released anything new in terms of portable electronic devices for gaming. Now, if you look at Nintendo, as an example, they've released 3 or 4 generations of their DS. This is something that's going to turn out extremely well for all of you gaming guys out there.
And also, the Sony Vita doesn't include the gimmicky 3DS 3D screen that's probably going to make people cross-eyed after watching it for 5 minutes. It's just it's a very refined device. It looks like Sony's taking their time on it, and they're going to be taking a little bit more time on it because it's gonna miss the expected release date of 2011 Christmas, which is too bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a high-quality device, and the price point is right there. It's going to be good value for your money.
Alright guys, thanks for watching our first episode of IMO on ProgizmoHD. We'll be back next week with much more gadget news and tech reviews.
See you later, guys.